Conventional war too risky. Krogan forces too strong. Genophage was only option. Krogan forced Genophage, us or them. No apologies for winning. Wouldn't have minded peaceful solution.
So if the Krogan banded together and formed a united government, you'd welcome that?
Yes, United Krogan saved Galaxy, destroyed Rachni. Genophage not punishment, simply alters fertility to correct for removal from hostile environment.
We're not gonna find Malin staring at consoles. Come on.
Отлично, пойдем искать дальше. Труп Крогана.
Dead Krogan, female. Tumors indicate experimentation. No restraint marks. Volunteer. Sterile Werelock female willing to risk procedures. Hoped for cure. Pointless. Pointless waste of life.
I didn't expect you to be disturbed by the sight of a dead Krogan.
What? Why? Because of Genophage work? Irrelevant. No. Causative. Never experimented on live Krogan. Never killed with medicine. Her death not my work. Only reaction to it. Goal was to stabilize population. Never wanted this. Can see it logically. But still unnecessary. Foolish. Waste of life. Hate to see it.
I didn't think you'd had much direct contact with things like this. Did you come to Tuchanka after dropping your plague?
Yearly recon missions. Water, tissue samples. Ensure no mistakes. Superiors offered to carry it on. Refused. Need to see it in person. Need to look. Need to see. Accepted as necessary. See small picture. Remind myself why I run a clinic on Omega. Rest, young mother. Find your gods. Find someplace better.
I didn't expect spirituality from you, Mordin.
Genophage modification project altered millions of lives. Then saw results. Ego, humility, juxtaposition, frailty of life, size of universe. Explored religions after work completed. Different races. No answers. Many questions.
Sounds like you were trying to deal with your guilty conscience. The doctor killed millions.
Modified Genophage project great in scope. Scientifically brilliant. But ethically difficult. Krogan reaction visceral, tragic. Not guilty, but responsible. Trained as doctor, Genophage affects fertility, doesn't kill. Still, caused this. Hard to see big picture behind pile of corpses.
Can you really just rationalize it all away? How do you justify it?
Wheel of life. Popular Solarian concept. Similar to human Hinduism in focus on reincarnation. Appealing to see life as endless. Fix mistakes in next life. Learn, adapt, improve. Refuse to believe life ends here. Too wasteful. Have more to offer. Mistakes to fix. Cannot end here. Could do so much more.
If you need this much soul searching to get over it, maybe the Genophage was wrong.
Had to be done. Rachni wars, Krogan rebellions all pointed to Krogan aggression. So many simulations. Effects of Krogan population increase. All pointed to war. Extinction. Genophage or genocide. Save Galaxy from Krogan. Save Krogan from Galaxy.
You could have cured the Genophage instead. Brought hope to the Krogan. They'd have rejoiced.
Assumes human reaction. Krogan stimulus response different. Harsh environment. Take chance to fight. Flee. Would have caused chaos in Tuchanka. Victor would have war economy. Bloodthirsty army. Galactic expansion only logical outcome. More war. Genophage saved lives. War would have ended.
So you're willing to sterilize a species based on the evidence of a few simulations?
Yes. Millions of data points. Years of arguments. Countless scenarios. All noted Krogan fragmentation as dangerous. No unified culture to support repopulation. Would have been war. Turians and humans destroying Krogan utterly. Genophage was better. Saved lives.
Look at the dead woman, Mordin. It doesn't look like you saved her.
No, it doesn't. Worked with available data. Only option. No other possible. Doesn't matter.
Да. Ну, с другой стороны, типа, блин, ну это правильно. Иначе бы их просто уничтожили, они бы, конечно, там расплодились. Начали бы воевать. Их бы разъебали, и все, не было бы целый раз.
This might be useful.
Кроганская живучесть. Так, здесь мы были. Где патроны? Блин, может оружие поменять? Это что, я со снайперкой бегаю? Так, мне туда. А тут есть что? Кроган.
Killed the Bloodpack guards.
Not Bloodpack, not member of Clan Werlock. Wrong clan markings.
I'm an Urdnot scout. Werlock guards got me. Brought me here.
The chief scout told us to watch for you. We've taken out the guards. Get back to Urdnot.
I can't. The Werlock did things to me. Drugs. Injections. Said I was sacrificing for the good of all Krogan. Experiments to cure the genophage. Everything's blurry. Hard to think. Have to stay.
Morden, can you get him back on his feet? Stims, maybe? Something to bolster his immune system?
You don't understand. I'm not too sick to leave. I have to stay. They're curing the genophage. They're gonna make it all better. They have to keep doing the tests.
Caution, Shepard. Patient unstable, susceptible, brainwashed.
Why do you want them to keep doing the tests?
This is my fault. I got caught. Wasn't strong enough. Not good enough. This is the best I can do. This is all I can do. I'm not big enough to have a real shot with the females. I'll never have kids of my own. But if I help undo the genophage, then I mattered.
Millions of children will be born. Werlock children. They're going to destroy the other clans.
But... no. No, they said I was helping Urdnot.
If you want to help Urdnot, you need to get back there. But it would take a real badass to make it back to camp while injured.
I can do it.
You? I said a badass, not some scout whining like a Quarian with a tummy ache.
I can do it. I'm up. And I'm going to the female camp.
Damn right you are. Get back there and show them what you're worth. Go. Go!
Nicely done. Fortunately, subject is unlikely to be contagious.
Так. Деньги. Ну, это вообще легкие деньги. Чувак тут мертвый лежит. Блять, они, как правило, становятся наемниками. Хотят излечить генофак. Для чего? Блять. Как можно было так не попасть, Шепард? Ну, блять, это смешно, нахуй. На кой хер им взрывоопасные ящики? Все, тут больше нет ничего, туда пройти нельзя. Ты чё, блядь, спотыкаешься, дурак? Не газуй, блядь. Дурел картонный, блядь. Ну чё, сейчас быстро раскидаем? Ну и по нему тоже жах. Closing in. Да ты чё? Ты чё, козел? Умри, блядь. Не надо меня бить. Да я тебя буду бить. Дерется со мной. Тихо, 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 мужик. Бам. Не рычи. Серьезно? Ты совсем что ли упоролся? Ты слишком, блин. У тебя слишком много на тебя навешено. Блять, такой забавный. Так, здесь что за дверью? Запертый ящик. Отлично. Так. Отлично. Шикарно. Так, там чё? Чё? Тут только патроны, да? А туда типа пройти нельзя? Ага, ты даже не хочешь прятаться за нее. Ладно. Сохранение. И это типа больница, да? Блять, такая себе больница. Столько этажей, ни одного лифта. Зато масштаб, конечно, прям офигенный. Так, тут ничего. Здесь деньги. Глаза ебуся. Где? Где еще одна? Все, вот она.
This looks interesting.
Так.
Malin, alive, unharmed. No signs of restraint, no evidence of torture. Don't understand.
For such a smart man, Professor, you always had trouble seeing evidence that disagreed with your preconceptions. How long will it take you to admit that I'm here because I wish to be here?
He wasn't kidnapped. He came here voluntarily to cure the genophage.
Impossible. Whole team agreed. Project necessary.
How was I supposed to disagree with the great Dr. Solus? I was your student! I looked up to you!
Experiments performed here. Live subjects, prisoners, torture and executions. You're doing?
We've already got the blood of millions on our hands, Doctor. If it takes a bit more to put things right, I can deal with that.
You honestly think the experiments you did here are justified?
We committed cultural genocide. Nothing I do will ever be justified. The experiment is monstrous because I was taught to be a monster.
Morton, did you ever perform experiments like this?
No. Never taught you this, Malin.
So your hands are clean. What does it matter if the ground is stained with the blood of millions? You taught me that the end justified the means. I will undo what we did, Professor. The only way I know how.
What happens if the genophage is cured and the Krogan expand again? That'll be on your head.
We justified this atrocity by saying the Krogan would cause havoc and war if their population recovered. But look at the galaxy. Batarian attacks in the Traverse, Geth attacks in the Citadel. Is this a more peaceful universe? The assault on your Eden Prime might never have happened if we had let the Krogan recover. We'll never know.
How would a Krogan population explosion have done anything to stop Saren and the Geth?
An increased Krogan population would have forced the Council to take steps, likely involving colony rights in the Traverse. The Turian fleets would be vigilant for any military activity in the area. They might have stopped the Geth at Eden Prime.
Supposition. Impossible to be certain.
Don't you see? We tried to play God and we failed. We only made things worse, and I'm going to fix it.
You talked about killing, but the genophage isn't lethal. It only affects fertility rates.
Krogan fight over fertile females. They become mercenaries or pirates because they see no alternative. They would be thriving in a cultural renaissance now had we not decided that this is what they deserved.
Inaccurate. Krogan population resulted in war. Simulations were clear.
Why work with Clan Werelock? And how did you access the genophage data?
The data was easy to obtain. We all still had clearance. We were heroes. All I had to do was ask. As for the Werelock, They were the only clan with both the resources and the commitment.
Urdnot has a larger camp than Why not use them?
Urdnot Rex is too soft. He wasn't willing to do the experiments I needed. It's Urdnot's loss and Weirlock's gain. Their clan will be the first to recover the crime we committed.
Malin clearly doesn't need rescuing. What do you want to do?
Have to end this.
You can't face the truth, can you? Can't admit that your brilliant mind led you to commit an atrocity!
Unacceptable experiments. Unacceptable goals. No choice. Have to kill you.
Wait, you don't need to do this, Morton. You're not a murderer.
No. Not a murderer. Thank you, Shepard. Finished, Malin. Get out. No Weirlock left. Project over.
What if he talks to more Krogan? Tells the public about the modified Genophage project?
Tasks group good at covering tracks. No proof. Weirlock willingness to work with Salarian, unusual. Other Krogan will kill him.
Aren't you worried that he'll start his research again?
No. Locking this unit. Special task group can cut access to old data. Could start from scratch. Decades of work, though. Didn't teach you everything I knew.
You heard the professor. Get out before he changes his mind.
Where am I supposed to go, Professor?
Don't care. Try Omega. Can always use another clinic.
The Krogan didn't deserve what we did to them, Professor. The Genophage needs to end.
Not like this. Apologies, Commander. Misunderstood mission parameters. No kidnapping. My mistake. Thank you.
Don't worry about me, Morton. How are you doing?
Should have killed him. Wanted to. Easier than listening. Easier for him, too. Experiments indicate how far he's fallen. Expected it from Krogan. Not one of mine.
Maybe you'll remember that the next time you're discussing the ethics of the Genophage.
Yes. So many variables. Stress responses. Impossible to truly predict. Something to think about. Malin's research. Only loose end. Could destroy it. Closure. Security. Still valuable, though.
If you think it could be useful, why not hang on to it?
Worked for years to create modified Genophage. Should destroy this. Malin's work could cure Genophage. Don't know. Effects on Krogan. Effects on Galaxy. Too many variables. Too many variables.
You regret what the Krogan have become. You see the horror of what they did here, but you see the loss, too.
Wasted potential.
They don't deserve this, Morton. Save the data.
Point taken, Shepard. Capturing data. Wiping local copy. Still years away from cure. But closer than starting from scratch. Done. Ready to go. Ready to be off to Chanka. Anywhere else. Maybe somewhere sunny.
I'd like to look around a bit more.
Ну, вот так вот, короче, я думаю, имеет смысл все-таки сохранить эти данные. Я не знаю, на что оно повлияет, конечно, в будущем. Но на что-то может повлиять. Так. Нормально тебе, да? Ну все. Уходим. Раз тут нечего больше изучать. Так. Почему мы опять тут?
I have work for you if you want it, Urdnot Grunt. Just set the human aside and we can talk. Go to the clan leader, Urdnot Grunt. You can go where you want.
Так,
Salarians,
в принципе,
little bastards, they're so smart.
нам сейчас нужно добежать.
Clan Urdnot has increased in strength after the destruction of Clan Weirlock. Based on population profiles, Clan Urdnot has adopted surviving members of Clan Weirlock, mostly women and children.
Ah, intelligent move. Surprising from Krogan. Glad to see it.
In addition, killing the Thresher Maw has produced
Place your bet on the pits, you... We don't touch anything. If you're gonna stand there, make yourself useful. I can't do anything until I build a replacement
I found a
manifold.
combustion manifold out in the field.
That'll work. faster than building one from scratch, at least. You just saved me 3 days' work, human. You've earned my time if you want it.
What's that you're working on there?
I'm tuning up these machines for battle. It's a wonder that here made it back to camp. It could be worse. A couple more hits on the broadside, and this thing would have crumbled.
Krogan's placed so much importance on martial strength. How did you become a mechanic?
How do you think those fools make it to the field to kill each other? Who do you think keeps the weapons working? Without me, there's no battle, just slaughter. I am the military might of Clan Urdnot.
How do you feel about what Rex is trying to do?
The old man's crazy if you ask me, which you just did. But that stuff fixes itself. If work, Rex gets torn to shreds and we find out who's got the next best plan.
Let me get out of your way.
Don't do me any favors.
Так.
It's
Тут
been
был
a
этот
bloodbath
самый
ever since Urza's handler was exiled.
чувак. Где этот разведчик? Он же должен был сюда куда-то прийти. Не? Это командир разведчиков. Это не командир. Где разведчик-то? Что-то я не понял. Давай, что скажешь?
My scout made it back. We've got him at the tent. Doesn't remember much beyond getting tortured, but he remembers you. Yelled at him until he got his hump out of that base and back here. You've got a quad, human. Thanks for saving my scout. Saves me having to train another one.
Talk to you later.
Он, короче, где-то в палатке. Надо
This Baron could track you anywhere on the
спросить,
planet.
где он.
Eyes straight ahead. These things would last long.
Вот тут, наверное, про эту палатку. Быжак. Не рычи. А, ну вот он, да, лежит. Отдыхаешь, чилишь.
Should you be again dark in my lab, human? You must have more questions.
Enjoy your research.
Yes, move along.
Ладно. С ним потрещать никак.
Always want
Можно пойти еще потрещать с Рексом. Сделать одну ставку. Так,
put down some real money, human.
ну давай. Ну давай на Надьку поставим. Откисло.
Put down some real money, human.
Давай еще раз. Сейчас-то Надька должна победить. Что-то никак она не побеждает.
Put down some real money, human.
Ну давай третий раз. На изи, блять.
Put down some real money, human.
Ну еще разочек. Опа. Все, по сути, отбили свои бабосики. Так, то есть я могу стоять в огне, и мне ничего не будет. Нормально.
Shepard, what can I do for you, my friend?
Sounds like you've got big changes
We're
ahead.
making a neutral ground where all clans can... It's a new day for the Krogan. We shall rise again.
I hope that works well
We
for
don't
your
often
people.
allow aliens to do business on Tuchanka, but you're an exception. Wish I could.
Так, все, он нам ничего больше нового не скажет. Блин, почему вот так нельзя, короче, выйти? Сделали, короче, но не до конца. Все равно беготня присутствует.
Go to the clan leader. Urdnot Grunt.
Так, все.
Look around you, human. This is the Krogan homeworld. The Blood Pact recruits Krogan. So unless your Urdnot friend wants to sign on the dotted line, you can go back the way you came. There's the young hero, Urdnot Grunt and his victorious Krant. I have work for you if you want it, or not grunt.
Ладно, все, короче, уходим.
We can talk.
Больше тут делать нечего.
Commander, you've received a new message at your private terminal.
Нет, прочитаю, ничего страшного. Пошли в каюту капитана. Кормить рыбок. Рыбок покормили. Что тут у нас по сообщению? Командиру Грюнта, шаман клана Урнот. Терпеть этого не могу, но написать вам надо. Вы часть клана, вы часть Кранта Грюнта, и вы же его командир, так что позаботьтесь о нем. Здесь я должен быть вежлив, играть свою роль. Наш народ вымирает. Кроганы всегда ставили выживание превыше традиций. Если мы хотим выжить как раз, а нам понадобится ваш в бочке выращенный Грюнт. Акир был безумцем, но безумцем с мозгами. Чего нельзя сказать о большей части населения этого каменного шарика. Так что верните нам Грюнта целым и невредимым. Он нужен моему народу. А если вас всех убьют, я помочусь на ваши могилы.
Ладно, ладно. Начать тебя слушать.
Да. Адмирал Дарозен вас в морях. Шепард вас Нормандия. Я была на Алларее, блять. Вообще он Алларай? Ну ладно. Хочу, чтобы вы знали, я нашла кое-какую информацию об экспериментах Раэльзора, и если бы вы поделились со мной известной вам информацией, все могли бы извлечь из этого выгоду. В противном случае, когда я завершу свои исследования, вы и ваш народ будете наблюдать за тем, как варианты вернут себе не только свою родную планету, но и получат самую большую армию роботов в галактике. Раэльзора погиб не зря. Я завершу то, что он начал искренне ваше, адмирал Дарозен вас в морях. Ну, блядь, такое себе, конечно, блядь, утверждение. Армия роботов, блядь.
Куда ты собрался?
Ебанутая женщина.
Точно.
Так, нам надо потрещать с Грюнтом. Стали можно потрещать, я не помню о чем, но вроде как можно. Сейчас узнаем.
What's this area? That's all for now.
Logging you out, Shepard.
Далее, что расскажешь?
Have you got time to
Sure.
talk?
Let me just come on, you little bostet. Oh, sorry. I've got a small fever and I'm taking it out on the poor drive core. Don't worry, it's nothing serious. Got sloppy while doing some suit repair.
You're sick? Do you need help or time to rest?
Really, it's not that bad. If a stray bit of bacteria could really kill us, we'd have all died
Куда
by
ты
now.
пошел?
The fever should go away in a day or two. Don't worry, it won't affect my performance on the mission. It's not even an illness, really. What we experience is actually an acute allergic reaction.
How exactly does the sickness work? It's an allergic reaction?
Right. Say I get exposed to a human disease, like... What did Navigator Presley have that time? Chickenpox? I wouldn't get chickenpox, but I'd run a fever as my system reacted to the foreign presence. Depending on where it hits me, I could get other symptoms. Nausea, vomiting, everything you'd expect from being sick.
How did you get sick this time?
I took some fire in a fight back on the Alarai. Nothing serious, but I needed to open my suit to check the wound. I disinfected properly, but one of the section seals had taken some damage, and foreign matter got out of the disinfected zone. It was a stupid mistake. You always check your seals before doing local treatment. Unless you forget. Then you get a damn fever.
You can seal off part of your suit?
Right. Like dropping emergency doors on a ship during a hull breach. It won't stop an infection that gets into my bloodstream, but it prevents a surface infection from spreading.
Were your immune system stronger before the Geth drove you from your homeworld?
Not as strong as those of most races, definitely. I'm not a biologist, but there's a theory about it. Because our planet lacked insect life, plants developed symbiotic relationships with large animals to spread seeds or pollen. Most viruses on our world were partially beneficial, so our immune systems evolved to be weak. They were more likely to adapt to contamination than fight it.
But Quarians colonized other worlds. They couldn't all have been like that.
They weren't. Most colonists went through a period of mild illness before adapting to the new environment. When the Geth took the homeworld in our colonies, the sterile environment on the flotilla ruined our immune system's adaptability. Even if we colonized a new world or reclaimed our own, we need a long process of bioengineering to recover.
I don't know if I could live inside a suit my whole life.
We are in our suits even among family. The most intimate thing we can do with another Quarian is link our suit environments. We get sick at first, and then we adapt. It's our most important gesture of acceptance. I haven't trusted anyone enough for that, though. Except, well, no Quarians. You know.
Wait, I can't tell under the helmet. Are you blushing?
What? No, it's the fever. It's just that the tradition also signifies a willingness for, intimacy. I wasn't trying to... It's not always like that. It's more... how did we even end up about this?
Wait a minute. It sounds like you're suggesting something, Tali.
What could I possibly be suggesting? I mean, a young woman gets rescued by a dashing commander who lets her join his crew and then goes off to save the galaxy? How could she possibly develop any kind of in him?
This mission will be risky. I can't jeopardize your health for that. No matter how much I'd like to.
But you'd like to? Good to know. Anyway, I should get back to work. But thanks for coming by and talking.
Ну, блин, нет. Они какие-то такие вот ничего, потом такие раз.
Hey.
Tell me about you, Jack. What are you up to?
Still checking out your ship. Wouldn't mind putting her through her paces when you're not around.
If I take you too seriously, I might need to deal with you.
Try it. Anyway, relax. Joyriding doesn't have the thrill it used to. Besides, if I wanted it, I'd take it.
That's...
I've been around. Ran with gangs, wiped out some gangs, joined a cult. Kept the haircut. I learned how to survive and not be a victim.
It's hard to imagine you in a cult. That usually involves a lot of rules.
I was looking for answers. Drugs and sex and going to a better place. A better place, right. It was money. They wanted to take a colony, shake the suckers down to fund their spread, and guess who was their ace in the hole? They were just like the rest. Didn't give one shit about me.
What did you do when you found out?
What do you think?
You must have met some good people, too.
You've seen where I came from. Everybody wants something, and because of that, everything is fair game. Murder, assault, kidnapping, drugs, stealing, arson. Done it all, and that's the boring shit. Piracy, theft of military craft, destruction of a space station, and vandalism. That was a good one.
Military's a hard target. Bet that made you some friends.
Shouldn't have left the thing unlocked. Besides, parades are boring. I helped.
A space station. You're pushing what I can believe.
Ain't saying it was easy. Not everything is spur of the moment. Sometimes you gotta work to give people what they deserve. Had some people I hung with for a while. Outlaw colony. Felt like they were like me. Guess that made us a nice target. Turians think they know something about a scorched earth response. Fuck 'em.
You were a pirate, too?
Ties in with the kidnapping. If you hijack a passenger ship and don't kill everyone, anyway. Good lesson. Simpler to just kill them all.
I'm surprised you'd even mention vandalism in that bunch.
That's what the Hanar call it when you crash that space station I mentioned into one of their moons and make a new crater. They really liked that moon.
Do you ever wonder if you could have done things differently?
No.
Shouldn't you?
There's no reason I should be alive, but I am. You know why? Instinct. It's worked for me so far, and I'm not gonna change. Hey, Shepard. No one's ever asked me about this shit. It's strange to talk about. Thanks for asking.
Нормально. Теперь надо поговорить с Грантом. С Грюнтом, блять.
Urdnot Grunt. I like it. I have a clan. That makes me... It makes me want to fight, not just able to. At Uvink, I wanted to disembowel him, to tear out his spine like a trophy.
We started this because you were losing control. Now you sound more violent than ever.
Rex said I was normal. Just had this built-up stuff because of being grown in the tank. Now that I know it's not an outside thing, and I have a place as a Krogan, I like it. Our enemies are in trouble, Shepard, and we better not run out of targets.
I'm not planning on living like this forever, Grunt.
Talk like that, and it won't be your choice. I'm sure as hell not quitting with a whimper. Just so you're clear where we stand.
Злюка. Так, здесь чё кого? Сейчас быстро совсем потрещим и закончим.
Do you have any suggestions about using
I have
some
done
of
what I can to increase our exploration capabilities. Anything beyond
What are
that?
your impressions of Miranda and Jacob?
Jacob is an earnest young man. Events will either forge him into a great man or utterly destroy him. Miranda is undoubtedly a hard woman. I respect her strength and determination. She carries many burdens and doesn't share them with others, as it should be.
How do you think our mission is going?
Spirits are high. We have a strong team and everyone is committed.
I wanted to check in.
I am always happy to talk with you.
I'm interested in hearing more about Asari Justicars.
We hold a unique place in Asari culture. Justicars are from another era. Young Asari grow up watching vids about our adventures. Pure fiction, of course. Some Asari are uncomfortable with us, but so few Justicars exist that most have never met one.
There are only a few Justicars?
Few Asari wish to make the sacrifices necessary to become one of us, and the training has a high casualty rate. It is a life of constant danger. Throughout the entire galaxy, there are only a handful of us at any time.
Why would anyone want to be a Justicar?
It is a deeply personal matter. Sometimes the most brutal path is the only honest one.
This code of the Justicar seems central to your life.
It is 5,000 sutras and covers every situation one can encounter. I have memorized every word. There is only the code.
Sometimes justice calls for mercy.
It does not exist to bring about spiritual enlightenment. Its purpose is to punish the wicked and protect the innocent.
The Asari I've spoken to seem conflicted about Justicars.
In this age, people see shades of gray everywhere. The code of the Justicar is black and white. I might seem a hero to many, but I would kill all of them if I had to.
What role do you think Justicars have in Asari society?
I would say that the closest human equivalent is a knight-errant in your medieval lore. Perhaps mixed with a bit of samurai.
What does your code say about killing?
I am compelled to kill the wicked. If a Justicar is involved, peaceful solutions are long past.
You make killing sound so casual.
I remember each being I have slain. They are always in my thoughts.
Does the code forbid romantic involvement?
It does not. However, I would never be interested in such. That part of my life is well behind me.
You could meet someone who reawakens those desires.
I am nearly 1,000 years old. I know myself and my desires. But your curiosity is quite welcome.
You know about Knights Errant and Samurai?
When I knew I must leave Asari space again, I studied the history and morals of new species. When I was a maiden wandering the galaxy, humans had not yet arrived.
What did your studies tell you about us?
You are more individualistic than any other species I have encountered. If 3 humans are in a room, there will be 6 opinions. I like your species. I am curious to see what you will do.
I should go.
I'm glad we spoke.
I should go, блять. Ну все, погнали дальше. С кем мы там еще не потрещали? По-моему, с Стейном. Сейчас Стейном потрещим, не вопрос.
Do you need something?
Have a few minutes to talk?
Very well. I had been recording a message for Kolyat.
How are things going with him?
It is difficult. All things worth keeping are. I never explained. I suppose the story of my wife's death took you by surprise.
I figured you'd explain to me when you were ready.
I appreciate your patience. I kept my work clear of our home life. I assumed that would be enough to protect Irika. That memory I mentioned before. Laser dot trembles on the target's skull. The smell of spice on a spring wind. Sunset eyes defiant in the scope. That was Irika. That was how I met her. She saw my targeting laser as she walked by and threw herself in the way.
So how did she go from blocking your shot to having your children?
I had to meet her. The memory possessed and endowed me. I fell on my knees before her, begged her pardon. She introduced me to the world beyond my work. Eventually, she forgave me. Later, she loved me.
I guess she impressed you.
She woke me up. Her body trembles, not fear. Indignation. Her mouth moves. How dare you? You and I trained to sacrifice ourselves to save others. How often does a civilian step in the way of a bullet to protect someone they've never met? I thought she was the goddess Hirashu. She met my eyes through the scope, and my purpose faltered.
When you talked to Kolyat, you said she died.
I let myself become complacent. I thought Irika and Kolyat were safe. I stayed away too long, and my enemies came for her.
Who came for her?
Batarians. A slaver ring that was preying on Hanar outer colonies. I'd killed their leaders. They paid the Shadow Broker to find out who I was. But they were afraid of me, so they went after her.
You told Kolyat that you hunted her killers down.
Irika woke me up. When she passed, I returned to my battle sleep. My body hunted her killers, murdered them. I was taught to grant death quickly, cleanly, to minimize suffering. Them, I let them linger.
You were operating on instinct. By your own rules, you can't blame yourself.
But I made the choice to hunt them. They're the only lives I've ever taken of my own choice. The only deaths on my own conscience. I haven't spoken about my wife, and I don't think I ever have. I didn't have anyone left to tell it to.
Thane, the worst thing is to face death with regrets. You're part of my crew, and I consider you a friend. If there's anything I can help you with, just ask.
I've never been part of a team. Assassins tend to be solitary. I'm learning the virtues of facing death with others at your side. It's a work in progress.
Ну, блять.
Hey, Shepard. My heart goes out to Miranda and her sister. That's a rough situation. I can see why Jack is the way she is. I don't like it, but I get it. I'm glad to hear Thane and his son are back in touch. It'll be hard, but I think they'll be fine. Come back later. I'm sure I'll have more to talk about.
Почему они не прописали отдельные такие типа диалоги, как в этом, с возможностью выбора? Они просто, блядь, рассказывают какую-то хуйню и все.
Commander.
Что расскажешь?
You have a minute,
Of
Miranda?
course. I'd been meaning to speak with you, in fact. I wanted to apologize. I didn't fully believe you'd be up to the task, and it seems I was wrong. Frankly, based on what I've seen, I wish Cerberus had recruited you earlier.
I trust you, but I don't trust Cerberus. Your experiments crossed the line.
All the time, yes. But I recall a Spectre who crossed a few lines while hunting down Saren and the Geth, and we'd be lucky to have you. Too many join us out of simple xenophobia. We need more people here for the right reasons.
What was Cerberus trying to prove by experimenting on children like Jack?
A mistake, no question. Not mine. and one that was corrected once we discovered the extent of the experiments being performed.
I saw your bases years ago. You were using Rachni, Thorian creepers, even husks to make your own army.
The husks were already dead, the Thorian creatures were mindless, and the Rachni were abandoned once we understood their intelligence. We weren't breeding an army, we were breeding expendable shock troops for high-risk scenarios. How many soldiers died in Saren's attack on Eden Prime? How many would have lived if we'd had just a dozen Rachni soldiers on our side?
With your intelligence, you could have landed any job you wanted. Why choose this?
Because I still envy the time Morden spent with the Special Tasks Group, working with people as smart as he was. Cerberus never tells me that something is impossible. They give me my resources and say do it. And they've given you even more. A new life, a new ship, the elusive man's personal attention.
The best thing he did was to put you on my squad.
You'd have done fine without me. I may not have believed it before, but I don't have what you do. That fire that makes someone willing to follow you into hell itself. My father got me the best genes money could buy. Guess it wasn't enough.
You always bring up your genetic tailoring. It really bothers you, doesn't it?
This is what I am, Shepard. I can't hide it. The intelligence, the looks, even the biotics. He paid for all of that. Every one of your accomplishments is due to your skill. The only things I can take credit for are my mistakes.
I can't admire your body or your mind? You give your father too much credit. Yeah, he gave you gifts. But you can be proud of what you've done with them.
Oh. Thank you. Perhaps I wouldn't mind if you admired my body.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean it that way. We need to stay professional. Keep our focus.
Yes, you're right. This is too important for anything to cause friction. Thank you for coming by, Commander.
Хуя ты портуешься, блядь. Нам нельзя, короче, да. Пойдем сейчас с Галарусом.
I've never worked with so many aliens before.
They're a small army. We might.
Shepard, need me for something?
Have you got a minute?
Can it wait for a bit?
Have you got a minute?
Can it wait for a bit? I'm in the middle of some.
Have you got any upgrade?
My current upgrade. I'll be here if you.
Заебал со своими, блядь. Калибровками сколько можно калибровать? Мы ж поставили нормальную штуку, которую не нужно калибровать постоянно.
Commander.
Have you got any
A few
ideas?
ideas, yeah.
О, ништяк. Давай. И опять придется туда бежать.
Commander.
You have a minute,
There's a
Miranda?
lot to do, Shepard.
I'll let you work.
Of course, Commander.
Все отлично. Теперь что у нас еще? Кто остался? Может, это нам даст что-то? Чаклас.
There's a very good chance this mission will be a one-way trip. Are you prepared for that?
I've been through the reclaiming of Shan-Chi. We survived. I've lived a full life. Commander.
Понятно. Вот для нее мало диалогов, поэтому к ней нахуй никто не ходит. Даже у Джокера больше диалогов, чем у этого. Так, мы со всеми потрещали, но забыли спросить про улучшение. Ага.
I should go.
Улучшений нету, I should go. Чё у Дэйна?
Do you need something?
Do you mind if I ask you a
Not
few
at all.
questions? We need to have the
I've
best
already
equipment.
upgraded the Normandy's exploration probes. I have no additional suggestions.
I should go.
I shall return to my
I should go. Так, кто нам еще что может рассказать? Гарус рассказал. Морден и Джейкоб. Вот еще кто остался. Ну, на месте, нормально.
Let's just talk for a bit. Unofficial.
Sounds
You
good.
and me.
I could use some downtime. There's always something, right? The way some people talk, we may as well be dead already. Hard for the crew to relax on this kind of job.
No kidding. The next Normandy gets a lounge.
They better not need to do this again. Rebuilding everything was a pain in the ass.
I can verify that.
Yeah, I bet you can. I doubt they'll front the money to stitch me back together if we screw it up. It's a hell of a job, isn't it, Shepard? Being the good guys.
Wouldn't be the high road if it was easy.
You've got to figure if all the people hoping we win stood up, the collectors would have a much bigger fight on their hands. Claws, whatever. I bet we have a lot more friends once we win. Hope we live to see it.
I hear that.
Anyway, I need to get back to work. Good talking to you. Commander, can I help you with...
Any thoughts on how to prepare against the collectors?
We've got the best armor available. The rest is outside my expertise.
We'll talk later.
Commander.
Так, отлично. А Морден предлагал, что там, улучшение медотсека получается, да?
Still hard to believe Malin betrayed me. Betrayed my work. Disgusted by his actions. Proud of his nerve, though. Always thought he lacked backbone. Hope he finds something new. Better goal, better purpose. Fewer torture tests.
You're really at peace with what happened?
Yes, of course. Can't change what happened. Life continues. Back to mission, back to work. Become like Malin otherwise. Solarian emotional processing.
Чуть-чуть еще осталось.
Has to be. Short-lived culture. Can't spend time...
So you really don't feel bad at all about what happened on Tuchanka?
Yes, correct. Now, at least. Greatly distressed at the time. Stages of grief, loss, anger, rationalization. Dealt with it. Most issues settled on Tuchanka, some on shuttle back to Normandy.
Malin didn't seem like he processed his emotional response. He was obsessed with the genophage.
True, didn't mean to imply that Solarians were healthier emotionally, can still make wrong choices, bad decisions from grief, anger, guilt. Malin couldn't accept feelings. Made decision, executed. Probably before I left for Omega. Wish I'd seen it. Solarians still feel, just resolve it quickly. Explains lack of marriage, can't sustain courtship emotions. Or perhaps based on reproduction. Unsure.
What about Malin's data on the genophage? His attempts at a cure?
What about it? Have it over there somewhere. Not dealing with it now. Need to focus on collectors. Not important now, regardless. Appreciate you helping me back on Tuchanka. Should get back to work. Wasted enough time already. Lots to do. Talk later? Shepard, how can I help?
Any ideas on other ways to prepare for the collectors?
Ideas, yes. Expensive, but possibly valuable. Can show you.
Вот, нормально. Чё? Ладно. Корабль, короче, мы улучшили. Чё по оружию? ББ. Берем. Оружие. Чё еще? Урон попадания в голову. Берем. Чё еще? Урон снайперской винтовки. Берем. Чего тут есть еще? Штурмовой. Дробовик не знаю. Пистолет не надо. Так, по броне что у нас? Аварийные щиты. Везде, короче. Вот палладий. Защита от урона, да. Тут что, тоже палладий? Давай, не вопрос. И последний, да? Отлично. Не зря копили. Здесь платина. Здесь что? Нулевой элемент. Действие технического умения. Ну давай. Генератор поля. Палладий. Давай. Сила биотического удара. Нулевой элемент, но если каждый раз по 500, то норм. 15 тысяч платины. Давай. Так. И... Ну давай, косарь всего лишь что. А еще должен быть 5-й. 1,5 косаря. Ладно. 6 из 6. Ничего себе. Платина 15 косарей. Палладий. Надо брать щиты. Блин. Ну давай, в принципе, что. Больше ни на что и так не тратим. Поэтому немножко потратим. Не знаю, правда, зачем он мне, если я все равно... О, время восстановления технического умения, это по-любому нужно. Биоумение. Пускай тоже будет, наверное, блин. Я особо не читал, но по-любому должно повлиять еще и на сокомандниках. Аварийные щиты. Восстанавливать щиты всего отряда. давай, ладно, еще потратим. Больше ничего нет. Здоровье, а этот восстанавливает. В принципе, и то, и другое можно поставить, почему нет. Больше-то, в принципе, тратить не на что. Так, по прототипам еще. Боеприпасы, жесткое укрепление кожи. Ну, давай. Все растратим, потому что... Костюм, палладий. Хорошо. Мышц. Тоже палладий. 25 косарей. Офигеть. Инструментон. Инструментрон, блять, вот. Эффективность технических умений Морденом возрастает 20%. Интенсивный курс переподготовка, крепкость щита гетов. Ну давай. Будем вообще не убиваем. Вроде сейчас уже тратится не в таких больших количествах. Я думаю, в случае чего можно будет налутать. Так. Джек. Морден. Кроганский дробовик. Ну давай, чё, изучим. Кроганский дробовик, платина 15. Нулевой элемент. Так, подожди. Дополнительная способность, чем больше верных помощников, тем больше способностей вам будет доступно. Ну, подожди. Каждый раз по завершении курса шеф получит новые способности. Перейдут уже потраченные очки умений. Так, удар, барьер, оборона, опустошение, поглощение энергии, поглощает энергию кинетическим барьером для зарядки ваших щитов, нервный шок, разрывные патроны, граната, светошумовая граната, стазис. Бездвижная цель на несколько секунд. Блин, я думаю, вот оборону нет. Лучше, наверное. Хотя и удар. Вот ударную волну было бы классно на самом деле. Создает щит, способный отразить очень большой урон. Вот барьер, наверное, выберу. А что еще? Это типа доступно больше умений. Но я же барьер изучил. Ладно. Не знаю, что бы это ни значило. Я каждый раз типа трачу, да? Тебе что нужно? Давай. Ее урон поставим. Инструментом Мордена. Дальше что? Кроганский дробовик. Давай. Боеприпасы. Иридий. О, этого добра достаточно. Лавина. Отлично. Все поизучаем. Каин. Изучаем. И все. Да, здесь только интенсивная подготовка. Улучшение оружия. Дробовик это платина. Пистолет. Пистолет-пулемет. Да, ладно, исследуем. Все, короче, поисследуем, в принципе. Так. Пробивная способность. Давай. Прикольно то, что тут как-то новое появляется. Когда ты исследуешь одно, потом появляется еще одно. Давай еще урон. Урон дробовика мне не нужен. Крупнокалиберного пистолета, в принципе, мне не нужен. Но палладия до хрена, поэтому почему нет, вдруг пригодится. А тут уже палладия не хватает, да? Ну, в принципе, и все. Сейчас они будут скипаться, вот эти штуки, постоянно. Нужно, короче, еще будет понасобирать ресов.
How may I help you, Commander?
Is there anything I should know?
Nothing. Anything else? Take care.
Так, отлично. Игра сохранена. Вот она будет постоянно теперь туту, туда-сюда херачить. Сколько там, кстати, по часам? Вот еще чуть-чуть. Так, Джокер.
Commander.
I assume everything is going well up here?
Quiet enough. What the?
Trouble?
No, it's nothing. Son of a... Very funny, Edie. Real original. Stop it.
You did insist on manual control, Mr. Moreau.
I assume everything is going well up here?
Good for now. Fractured my thumb on the mute, but I think I made my point.
That's it for now.
See you, Commander.
Нормально, короче, на одним рофле, блять. Ну хули они постоянно тут. Че им скучно полюбас. Так. Че тут, в принципе, больше ничего. Драник только есть. Так, применяем. И я думаю, можно сгонять вот сюда. Добил. Все равно надо защитить контрабандный товар. И заодно можно там, кстати, у серого посредника есть такая штука, как терминал, и там типа можно всякие штуки улучшать, изучать, спонсировать. И это может быть очень полезно. Поэтому погнали. Давно уже не заходили. Что тут? Умеренные, ну ладно. Приземляемся. Это, конечно, блин, мне кажется, вот это дополнение, оно какое-то не дополнение, оно слишком хорошо сделано. Я так думаю, то, что это просто тупо вырезали. Так. Привет. Больше ты мне ничего не расскажешь. Это хорошо, да. Повышение квалификации. Ага, понятно. В досьях у нас что есть? Ничего нет. Возможность. Вот, возможности инвестирования. Точно. Доклад о задании готов. Флот устроили засаду на пиратов, грабящих колонию. Здесь что? Неудача. Тесты антибиотиков фонда Сирта приостановлены решением цитадели. Денег не получили. Работа с прессой. Давай купим. Синие светила набирают силу, становится слишком опасно развить общегалактическую информационную кампанию, в которой широко освещается коррупционность светил и частные конфликты с нанимателями. После этого часть потенциальных заказов светил отойдет конкурентам. Да, так поступим. Так, чё? Удача. После развернутой вами кампании политик ушел в отставку. Здесь что? Удача. Полиция тайно выделила вам долю конфискованных на фабрике денег. Деньги. И вашим, и нашим. На батарианской планете Харшан участились вооруженные конфликты между разными странами. Сделайте так, чтобы ни одна из сторон не могла одержать верх над остальными, и регулируя продажу оружия всем участникам конфликта. Это ништяк. Компания Binary Helix пытается разработать для Солоднянца гормональные импланты, нарушающие закон цитадели. Компания будет очень вам благодарна, если вы заранее предупредите ее о визите инспекторов с цитадели. Но если для Альянса они это делают, ну мы же типа только за человечество, правильно? Так, результаты разведки. Что тут? Палладий. Отлично. Больше ничего нет. Исследовательский терминал. По оружию все то же самое. По прототипам то же самое. По модификациям вроде уже все.
Agent has obtained the equipment used to record the General Partonax and Killix Tanis duo.
Можно видосики еще, кстати, посмотреть, которые тут типа снимаются с камер. И это прикольно.
Aria Talo, Omega.
Это мы видели.
Emily Wong,
Это
Citadel.
видели.
Fred Mazai,
Это
Citadel.
видели.
Donnell Udina, Citadel.
Здоров.
Привет.
Armando
Привет.
Bailey, Citadel.
Как дела?
David Anderson, Citadel.
Что новых видосиков
Praetor
нету?
Gavon, Omega.
Что-то плохо.
Khalifa bint Sinan Al-Jilani, Citadel. Keeper 20, Citadel.
Нету новых видосиков.
Matriarch Atheta, Ilium.
Вообще херня
Erdnot
какая-то.
Torsk, Tuchanka. Elias Kellum, Omega. Jacob Taylor, Normandy SR2.
Да что ты будешь
Subject
делать?
Zero, Purgatory, ship now defunct.
Че, ну это нам показали, как она всех раскидывает. Да. Окей. Есть что?
Aria Talok, Omega.
Блять, не туда нажал. Нет нихуя, короче. Ну и ладно, блять, нету нихуя, и хуй с ним. Че там по времени, кстати? О, ну, в принципе, все как раз. Все сделали. На этом можно завершать. На этой хорошей ноте. Вот, в принципе, как-то вот так. Чуть-чуть поиграли, чуть-чуть попроходили. Я думаю, завтра можно будет еще чуть-чуть, а потом еще немножко. И, в принципе, пройдем до конца. Короче, на этом все. Ты очень поздно пришел, поэтому, блядь, сорян. Я уже типа заканчиваю, но, блядь, так бывает. Вот. Все, кто смотрел, все молодец. Кто не смотрел, тот не смотрел. Все, всем хорошего вечера, всем пока.